हरे कृष्ण महाराज।
हरे कृष्ण। दंड दीदी हरि बोल। वंदेहं श्री गुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्री गुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्री रूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं सजीवं साद्वैतं परिजन सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः विष्णुपादाय राधिकायै प्रियात्मने श्रीमद्भक्तिवेदान्त नारायणिति नामिने श्रीकृष्णलीला कथने सुदक्षम् औदार्यमाधुर्य गुणैश्च युक्तं परं वरेण्यं पुरुषं महन्तं नारायणं त्वं शिरसा नमामि। First of all, offer my millions of obeisances to lotus feet of Smriti Guru Padma, Titila Prishta Jagat Guru Shri Srimad Bhakti-Vedanta, Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And also offer obeisances to lotus feet of Trindi Sannyasi, Shri Srimad Bhakti-Vedanta, Dandi Maharaj, Namnishta Santa Shri Aniruddhas Prabhuji. All the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavas are gathered here. Please accept my humble obeisances. So we are discussing Madhurya kadambini. And today is the Deepavali in India, the festival of lights, and so many firecrackers will be bursting all the time. So please don't mind the sound. The sound will be only today. Tomorrow will be very less firecrackers. So no harm. So we'll discuss now the page number 187. Slowly we are completing this book. So here we are discussing the sins Atipatak, Mahapatak, Anupatak, Upapatak, Shankari Gana, Apatrikarana, Jati Brahmshakara, Malavaha, and Prakirana. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita states, Eka Krishna Nama Kare Sarva Papanash, Premera Karana Bhakti Karena Prakash, Premera Udaya Haya, Premera Vikas, Premera Pulaka, Shrikamba Pulakadi, Gadgada Shudhar, Anayase Bhavakshaya, Krishnera Sevan, Eka Krishna Namir Pale Paye Tadan, Ena Krishna Nama Jadi Laya Bahubar, Tabu Jati Prema Nahi Nahi Ashrudhar, Tabe Janiya Parada Tahate Prachur, Krishna Nama Bija Tahe Na Kare Ankur. Uttering Krishna Nam just once annihilates the entirety of one's sinful acts, papa, resulting in the manifestation of bhakti, which is the cause of prema. The awakening of prema causes bodily transformations such as perspiration, trembling, horripilation, a faltering voice, and tears in the eyes. By uttering Krishna Nam, a person's cycle of birth and death is easily destroyed, and he attains loving service to Krishna, Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna Nam is so powerful that the fruit of uttering it just is abundant transcendental wealth. Nonetheless, if a person utters Krishna Nam repeatedly, but still prema does not arise and tears do not fill his eyes, it can be understood that he has committed excessive offense in chanting. Thus, the seed of Krishna Nam does not sprout. So here you can see that Krishna Nam is very powerful. Krishna Nam, no one can underestimate the power of Krishna Nam, or overestimate also. Understand? So there are so many glories of the holy name. Sakurdapi parigitam, Shraddaya helayava. Sakurdapi parigitam, Shraddaya helayava. Brigavardhana matram, Hare Krishna. Like Shri Gurudev gives so many. In Shastra, there are many statements to substantiate the unprecedented effect of Krishna Nam. In the 4th chapter of the biography of Param Gurudev, Yannamadheya Shravana Kirtana Yasmarna Vyah Pravana Tapi Kvachit Swado Pisadyo Savanaya Kalpate Kutaste Bhagwan Darshanat Aho Batasya Pachato Gariyan Yadvartate Jivagre Namatubhyam te pustapaste chunur sasudarya brahmanuchurnam gurnanti ete Sattvadviparigitam Shraddaya Hilayava Bhagavarnaramatram Taret Krishnanama Sankhyaktam Parihasyam Va Sthobam Hedanamava Vaikunthanama Grahanam Asheshagaram Vidu Yada Baso Putyan Kavalita Bhavadvante Vivo Tusham Tattva Andhanam Apyatishati Bhakti Pranayam Janastasto Tatta Jagati Bhagwan Namatarane Kurtinte Nirbhaktum Kaha Mahimanam Prabhavati Mriyamani Hare Nama Kim Puna Shraddhaya Grudan Patita Skalita. So, these are actually so many scriptural evidences. Srila Param Gurudev has given in the biography of Param Gurudev that there is one does not suffer any obstacles in life, and one is rescued from the torment of Yamaraj if simply one chants the name of Krishna. So no doubt that so many glorious scriptures describe of the holy name. So from these statements, it can be easily understood how offenses pose fearful obstacles to one's progress in bhakti. But if you are chanting a lot of Harinam and tears are not coming in your eyes, hair is not standing on end, then what to do? What to do? Then it is explained that it is because a person identifies himself with the body that a false ego or desire for material enjoyment manifests in his heart and is the cause of his performing sinful activities such as stealing others' wealth, committing violent acts, telling lies, and eating meat and fish. The body is called anatma, non-soul. That is, it is an inert object, anatma vastu. So basically, in Krishna consciousness, we are told what is Atma and what is Anatma Vastu. So, in the seventh canto also, instructions for the civilized human beings, it is mentioned, Deswadeha smrto anatma martyo vitkrumi bhasmavat sayenamatma satkrutva shlagayanti sattama. Sannyasis who first consider that the body is subject to death, when it will be transformed into stool, worms, or ashes, but who again give importance to the body and glorify it as the self, are to be considered the greatest rascals. So you'll see that when you take sannyas, you think that the body is anyway going to die anyways. Why pay attention to the body so much? It will be transformed into stool. Means if the animals will eat the body, dead body, then it will be converted into the stool of the vultures or the wolves or whatever. And otherwise your body will be converted to worms. It is buried under the ground. The worms will come and eat the body. Or if it is burnt as per the Hindu custom, your body will be converted to ashes. So first sannyasi reject the body. Body is not the self. But again some sannyasis give too much importance to the body and they glorify that the body is the self. Body is not the self. We are not the body. Understand? Then such sannyasis are considered to be the greatest rascals. A sannyasi is one who has clearly understood through advancement in knowledge that Brahma, he, the person himself, is the soul, not the body. One who has this understanding may take sannyas, for he is situated in the Aham Brahmasmi position. Aham Brahmasmi, understand? So, this is Aham Brahmasmi. So, simply to understand one is not matter but spirit soul, Aham Brahmasmi. I am by nature Brahma is not sufficient knowledge for understanding the self. So, anyways, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Na Shochitana Gangshati. Such a person who no longer laments or hankers to maintain his body and who can accept all living entities as spirit souls can then enter the devotional service of the Lord. If one does not enter the devotional service of the Lord, but artificially considers himself Brahma or Narayan, not perfectly understanding the soul and body are different, one certainly falls down. Patanti adha. Such a person again gives importance to the body. There are many sannyasis in India who stress the importance of the body. Some of them give special importance to the body of the poor man, accepting him as Daridra Narayan, as if Narayan had a material body. Many other sannyasis stress the importance of the social position of the body as a Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Such sannyasis are considered the greatest rascals, asattamaha. They are shameless because they have not yet understood the difference between the body and the soul, and instead have accepted the body of a Brahmana to be a Brahmana. Brahmanism, Brahmanya, consists of the knowledge of Brahma. But actually, the body of a Brahmana is not Brahma. Similarly, the body is neither rich nor poor. If the body of a poor man were Daridra Narayan, this would mean that the body of the rich man, on the contrary, must be Dhani Narayan. Therefore, sannyasis who do not know the meaning of Narayan, those who regard the body as Brahma or as Narayan, are described here as asattama, the most abominable rascals. Following the bodily concept of life, such sannyasis make various programs to serve the body. They conduct farcical missions consisting of so-called religious activities meant to mislead all of human society. These sannyasis have been described here as apatrapaha and asattama, shameless and fallen from spiritual life. Understand? So, identifying oneself with the body, which is a non-conscious entity, coupled with the desire to enjoy insentient objects with one's body, mind, and words, results in impious acts known as papa. As sinful acts are connected solely with insentient material objects, they cannot touch the Atma. Therefore, the effects of such sins are inflicted only upon the insentient material body and mind. Compared to sinful acts, offenses are ultimately more severe and dreadful. So, offenses are incomparably severe and dreadful. The effects of offenses directly cover the soul. When someone takes shelter of the path of bhakti and practices the limb of bhakti, such as hearing, chanting, and remembering, then such activities are transcendental or spiritual. Understand? So basically, you'll see that the difference between the sin and offenses, the sins are not as dangerous as offenses. Offenses or aparadhs are unlimitedly more severe and dreadful. Because the offenses, they directly cover the soul. As a result of committing offenses, one's soul is covered. So you'll see that our soul is covered. By sins will cover also, but not so much as the offenses. Understand? A sin cannot touch the soul, but the offenses will touch the soul also. They will cover the soul. Understand? So we have to be very, very careful. So they are performed for the soul's progressive spiritual journey. The objects of this activity is Bhagavan, the devotee, and the holy name or the holy abodes of Bhagavan are transcendental. Any neglect or disrespect of them due to perceiving them as material is not merely a sin but an aparadh. Thus, a condemnable activity in relation to inert matter is called papa, sinful activity, and a condemnable act in relation to spiritually conscious entities is called aparadh or offense. So, thus, a condemnable activity in relation to inert matter is called papa, sinful activity, and a condemnable act in relation to spiritually conscious entities is called aparadh, offense. The result of sinful activity affects only the temporary, perishable, material body, while the result of offense actually covers the soul of the embodied living entity, creating terrible obstacles on the path of his sadhan bhajan. Offenses committed to pure devotees who are repositories of loving devotional sentiments for Bhagavan are even more detrimental than offenses committed to the object of such love, Bhagavan himself. Understand? So if you see that offense committed to Bhagavan is dangerous, but more dangerous is offense committed to the pure devotee of Bhagavan. This is very more dangerous. Committing an offense to a pure devotee results in completely uprooting bhakti or in drying her up at the root, causing her to vanish. So bhakti is compared to the creeper, then basically, like in Tirupati, we see many three-story buildings, and creeper is rising. Creeper rising from the base to from the ground to the third floor, going all the way up to the balcony, or the rooftop. But suppose I take a knife and cut the root of the creeper, then that entire creeper is useless. It will dry up. Understand? Because the root is gone. So basically, you have a very nice flourishing creeper of devotion, bhakti, with so many flowers, fruit, and whatnot, birds, flowers, fruits. Understand? And you just commit an offense to a pure Vaishnava. What will happen? Your bhakti will, creeper is cut, it will be completely uprooted. So offenses to Bhagavan, on the other hand, cover the tendency to engage in bhakti or cause bhakti to shrink. If you commit an offense to Bhagavan, it will cover the tendency to engage in bhakti or cause bhakti to shrink. But when the offense is mitigated, bhakti reappears. It is thus understood from the scriptures that an offense to Vaishnava is more grievous than an offense to Bhagavan. So if you commit offense to Bhagavan, then it will only cover your tendency to serve Bhagavan. Or your bhakti may shrink, it will become smaller. Understand? But when the offense to Bhagavan is mitigated, what will happen? Bhakti will again reappear. But it is thus understood from the scriptures that an offense to Vaishnava is more grievous than an offense to Bhagavan. Upon examination, it is clearly evident that the root cause of aparadh is an injurious act performed with envy and is thus the opposite of affection. You commit an injury to a Vaishnava actually. Out of envy, you commit injury to a Vaishnava. Trying to beat up a Vaishnava or trying to give him, harass him, criticize him, like this. Out of envy. Oh, he has more disciples, he has more followers, he speaks better Harikatha, more people are attracted to him, he will be the next Acharya, what will I do then? And then, his books are more popular, then even my disciples are attracted to him, so I will not allow him to come to my area, I will not attend his classes, I will forbid anyone who attends his classes, and if anyone will attend his classes, I will evict them from my matha. They will not be able to come to my matha. It's either my way or highway. This type of attitude is aparadh. Understand? This is all out of envy for the higher Vaishnava. Or rather, we should think, okay, he is more advanced. Maybe he has performed devotional service for many, many lifetimes. He may be so many lifetimes ahead of me. So what is the harm? If I take his shelter, I will also advance like him. Krishna will also show me mercy. So if my disciples are going, I will also go with them and attend his Harikatha. After the Harikatha of that elevated Vaishnava is finished, I will give my Harikatha based on his Harikatha. What is the problem? Understand? So there is no harm. There will always be more advanced Vaishnavas in the world. There will always be. And if you see an advanced Vaishnava, we should be happy. Oh, good. I have seen a Mahabhagavad today, very nice. Gangara parasha haile paschate pavana darsha pavitra kara eto marguna haristane aparadhe tare harinama toma sthane aparadhe nahi kaidana prati janme kari asha charan radhuli narottame paradaya apanarabali. So it means that if we commit offense to Lord Hari, then the holy name will save us. Because holy name will remove our offenses committed to the Swarupa of Bhagwan and to Bhagwan and to itself. So Nam will remove Namaprad as well as offenses to the deity of the Lord. But if you commit Vaishnava aparadha, then it is a very severe nama aparadha, very difficult to get rid of that aparadha. So what we have to do? We should not become envious of any advanced Vaishnavas. Let there be advanced Vaishnavas, no harm. But actually we should know that I may be very small, insignificant Vaishnava, but I am my own Swarup. Actually, the reason envy comes because we think that Vaishnava is replacing me. He is a replacement for me. Means he will take over my position. That is not possible. No one can take your position. Even Rupa Goswami or Raghunath Das Goswami also cannot take your position. Understand? Because you have a unique Swarup. Rupa Goswami has unique Swarup. Raghunath Das Goswami has unique Swarup. Srila Gurudev has unique Swarup. Srila Bhakti-Vidanta Saraswati Prabhupada has unique Swarup. No one can take your position. Understand? No Vaishnava or Vaishnavi can take your position. You have a unique relationship with Krishna. You have a unique Swarupa, which no one else has. Like Sripad Dandi Maharaj always tells that there are no two atoms are alike, no two electrons are alike. Electrons are in pairs, but one electron has a clockwise spin, other one has a counterclockwise spin. So no one can replace you. Understand? And all you have to do is think that any senior Vaishnava, any Mahabhagavat Vaishnava, my Guru Maharaj, I should not be envious of anyone of them. I am not my Gurudev or any senior Godfather or any advanced Vaishnava from any Matha or any Sampradaya. I should not be envious. Why? Because I have my unique Swarupa and I have to render a particular service to Radha Krishna in the spiritual world. I am aspiring for that service and I will get that service if I receive mercy of this Mahabhagavat Vaishnava or my Gurudev or Shiksha Guru or Diksha Guru. Let me serve them, get my, recover my position in the Guru now. Understand? And no one is going to step on others' toes. Understand? You don't have to step on others' toes to serve Radha Krishna. Because someone will have a service, one particular service to Radha Krishna. Someone will have some other service. Understand? And there are innumerable gopis and manjaris and living entities serving Radha Krishna in so many rasas, so many melos, so many this thing. And it's a vast planet. Golok Vrindavan is a very, very, very vast planet. Tripad Vibhuti. There is no shortage of service there, and there is no shortage of land there, actually. Understand? Here in material world, we see land is very short. Tirupati, they say, oh, if you want 1 square foot of land, you pay so much 1,000 rupees. Understand? But our eternal abode Golok Vrindavan, no rent, there is no, only price to go there is service to the pure Vaishnavas without envy. Understand? Chanting Hare Krishna mantra, following Ekadashi and serving the Vaishnavas, hearing Harikatha. This is the rent we have to pay. Then we will go to that place where there is absolutely no, free of charge you can go there. Very easy you can go there. If you serve the Vaishnavas and not be envious of them. Understand? So here, his material conception of Mahapurushas thus leads to his disrespecting and neglecting them, who are most worthy of our affection, and sadhakas who actually need the protective umbrella of the Mahapurushas' affection. Because aparadha is rooted in this envy and hatred, dvesha, it creates such a barrier between great personalities, Mahapurushas, who are most worthy of our affection, and sadhakas who actually need the protective umbrella of the Mahapurushas' affection, that a person considers himself topmost, even though he is actually the lowest and as most intelligent, even though he is the most foolish. So basically what we need now is we need the shelter of Mahabhagavat Vaishnavas. No competition with them. How can a firefly compete with the sun? How can a small puddle or a pond compare with the Atlantic or Pacific Ocean? How can a small frog compare with a huge cow? Understand? Not possible. These are all incomparable. Mahapurushas are incomparable. We are insignificant. So we need their shelter. We should not try to compete with them. But rather you see a Mahabhagavat, then you tell everyone, okay, there's a great Mahabhagavat available. You go here is Harikatha. I will also come and join. We'll sit in front of that Vaishnava, offer him pranam. Here is Harikatha. Learn some Siddhanta. Then we'll practice that. Let us take shelter of that great Vaishnava. Understand? So, this is what is important. So, we have very little intelligence. Understand? Many times I think that what I know about Krishna consciousness compared to my Guru Maharaj or Srila Danti Maharaj, Bhakti-Vidanta Bharati Maharaj, or Srila Bhakti Vallabh Tirtha Maharaj, or Aniruddha Prabhuji, I don't know anything. But okay, I am sitting at their lotus feet and their mercy is on me. If I can render some small service to this great Vaishnavas, my Guru Varga, entire Guru Parampara, from beginning from Brahma and Narada and Vyasadeva and Madhurya Puripad, if I can render the service to Guru Parampara and Vaishnavas of all Sampradayas, and then I will be recipient of their mercy. I am the lowest among them. Purushere kita haite mui se lagishta. I am lower than the worm in the stool. This is what Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami said. But actually he said for us, I am the lowest. I am the least intelligent. I have no brain. We should think like this. This is the most appropriate way of thinking. His material conception of Mahapurushas thus leads to his disrespecting and neglecting them. So Shastra uses the word Mahat to indicate Shri Gurudev. Many times I hear lectures of Srila Gurudev, which was given in 1989. Sometimes I read the articles of Srila Gurudev in 1968, 67 by Bhakti-Vidanta Swami Maharaj, even before my birth. Then I think when I was in Maya, darkest region of Maya, my Gurudev was doing Brajamandal Parikrama, leading hundreds of devotees all over the world and guiding them on the path of Golok Vrindavan. That time I was in deep Maya. Then I didn't even know how to find a Guru. Then on his own accord, on his own sweet will, my Gurudev came to New York and gave me Diksha, gave me some transcendental knowledge. How fortunate I am. Who was I? Only loitering in stool, Maya. But my Gurudev personally came and he gave me mercy. Understand? So we should see that all the Vaishnavas, senior Vaishnavas, we should see in their heart our Gurudev. We should see our Gurudev in their heart. We should see that our Gurudev is speaking through them. My Gurudev is guiding through this Vaishnava now. So let me respect him. Respect him. Even if we may have the highest respect for our Diksha Guru, but still we have to respect other Vaishnavas also. Srila Gurudev said that don't criticize any Vaishnava of any Sampradaya. Anashiksha, very clearly it is told, Guru Goshthe Goshtadayeshu Sajane Sujane Pusaragane Swamantre Shri Namni Varjano Yodvandva Sharane Sada Dambam Hitva Gurratim Apurvam Atitan Maye Swantar Bhatas Chakraviraviyacha Dhutapada. Respect all the Vaishnavas and even the theistic Brahmanas who are devotees of Krishna. Respect them. When we see a Vaishnava, actually we should sing, oh, my Pranera Bandhu, my dear bosom friend. And if he is advanced Vaishnava, we should regard him as a very bosom friend. Like we see any Vaishnava, like, Aniruddha Prabhuji or Srila Danti Maharaj, he is my bosom friend. He is my eternal well-wisher. They are the lighthouses on the shore of the ocean, showing the ship which are, lost their way in the ocean. They are showing where the shore is. They are the lighthouses. They are the guiding post. They are giving us the guidance so that we don't go on the wrong track. Understand? They may chastise us, speak sometimes harsh words. Sometimes lovingly they may encourage to practice bhakti. So they are also right and left hands of Srila Gurudev. Understand? So here, Shastra uses the word Mahar to indicate Shri Gurudev, the revered Vaishnavas. and the living entities residing in the transcendental abodes of Bhagwan. Their bodies are completely transcendental, beyond the three modes of material nature. One who maintains a material conception of these transcendental personalities, you commit the offense of neglecting them. Moreover, even if one respects these great personalities from a material perspective, such alleged respect also equates to disrespect and deprive the sadhakas of receiving the affection, benevolence, or compassion of these great personalities, who are inherently magnanimous and supremely compassionate. Now respect Srila Gurudev. But why I respect him? Oh, he is having so many disciples, so I respect him. That is not the correct reason to respect. I respect my Gurudev because he had maybe 10,000 disciples. I respect Srila Bhakti-Vidanta Swami Maharaj because he had so many disciples all over the world, especially American disciples, so I respect him. This is not the correct way to respect a sadhu. So because Srila Bhakti-Vidanta Swami Maharaj built so many big temples, so I respect him. No. Actually, we cannot respect Bhakti-Vidanta Swami Maharaj. It's not possible for us to respect him. Our Gurudev would respect him, but Dandi Maharaj can respect. Because we don't even understand who's Bhakti-Vidanta Swami Maharaj. How can I respect him? Who has understood Bhakti-Vidanta Swami Maharaj's heart? Gurudev has understood. Understand? So we have to hear from Gurudev, from Dandi Maharaj, what Bhakti-Vidanta Swami Maharaj did, what Bhakti-Vidanta Maharaj did, what was the glory of Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. We cannot understand. Only they can tell us. We have realized something, the glories of Bhakti-Vidanta Swami Maharaj. Understand? Like many people, for example, they were telling, oh, Bhakti-Vidanta Swami Maharaj came to the world to preach the glories of Nama Sankirtan. Some people say that he came to the world to establish Varnashram Dharma. Then Srila Gurudev said that no, he didn't come to this world neither to propagate Nama Sankirtan nor to establish Varnashram Dharma. He is not a devotee of Mahavishnu, Gurudev told. Bhakti-Vidanta Swami Maharaj is not a devotee of Mahavishnu. He is a devotee of Radha Krishna. He is not a devotee of Advaita Acharya. He is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotee, Advaita Acharya's devotee also, but he is even more higher than Advaita Acharya. He is devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he came to give what Rupa Goswami came to give. He was a Rupanuga Vaishnava. He was a follower of Rupa Goswami. This is his highest glory. He established Varnashram Dharma in Gita Nagari and New Vrindavan. That is not his real glory. He propagated Nama Sankirtan, then that could have been done by any devotee of Mahavishnu or any Sampradaya Vaishnava can propagate the glory of Nama Sankirtan. But he told us about Rupa Goswami and the moods of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is what is his real glory. He was the Rupanuga Vaishnava. Understand? So, many times we cannot respect the great personalities properly because we don't know their actual glories. Then we have to hear from senior Vaishnavas. The meaning of Radha is satisfaction. In the word aparadha, the etymological meaning of aparadha, aparadha, two words are there. Apa plus radha is aparadha, offense. So radha means satisfaction. Aparadha dispels satisfaction or drives it away. That action which dispels the satisfaction of Bhagavan, Shri Nam, Shri Guru and the Vaishnavas is called aparadha. Means you have to see your action. Is my action pleasing the Vaishnavas or is it hurting their heart? If it is hurting their heart, then you should think. Before you do anything, you should always think, if I do this, will my Gurudev be happy or not? If I do this, will the holy name will be happy or not? If Bhagavan will be happy or not? For example, my Gurudev was a dearmost friend of Bhakti-Vidanta Swami Maharaj. He helped Srila Bhakti-Vidanta Swami Maharaj when no one was there to help him. And from 1947 he served Srila Bhakti-Vidanta Swami Maharaj. So it is my duty to find out what is the relationship between my Guru and Srila Bhakti-Vidanta Swami Maharaj. How can Bhakti-Vidanta Swami Maharaj be happy? If I serve him, my Gurudev, who is a very bosom friend of Srila Bhakti-Vidanta Swami Maharaj, then automatically Bhakti-Vidanta Swami Maharaj will be pleased. Or Sripad Dandi Maharaj rendered so much service to Srila Gurudev. He established ashram in Bangalore and also getting the books of Srila Gurudev translated to the Kannada and other languages, inspiring so many devotees to follow Ekadashi and accept the process of Shuddha Bhakti. All these activities, Sripad Dandi Maharaj has done. So if I serve Sripad Dandi Maharaj, Gurudev will also be pleased with me. If I assist him, then he will be pleased. Understand? So we have to always see our activity, that what will please by Gurudev. And the holy name. Holy name is also person. Nama Prabhu. Nama Prabhu has many names. So the mercy of bhakti, the Bhakta and Bhagwan are the primary means of attaining Bhagwan. We need the mercy of Bhakti Devi. We need the mercy of the Bhaktas, the devotees, and Bhagwan also. Therefore, not accepting a position of subordination to them, with no faith in them, and disrespecting and criticizing them, create monumental obstacles to attaining Bhagwan. So most important thing is that we have to take a position of subordinate position. Okay, I am under this Vaishnava. I am the servant of this Vaishnava. Not just verbally saying that, but also in accepting in the heart. I am a servant of this particular Vaishnava. This senior Vaishnava is my master. I will do and follow his instructions. This is accepting the position of subordination. We have to become subordinate to Bhagwan. That is easy, understand, because everyone in India, more or less, whether initiated or not initiated, they accept Bhagwan is the supreme. But difficult to become subordinate to Bhakta, understand. Unless you are Madhyamadikari, you don't want to become, unless you are knowing the glories of a devotee, you cannot become subordinate to a devotee. But Srila Gurudev was also telling that Mad Bhakta Pujya Vidika. My devotee should be worshipped more than me. Bhagavan is telling. And Gurudev was quoting a verse that Siddhir Bhavati Mahaneti Samshya Achyuta Sevina Nishchas Tat Bhakta Paricharya Atatmana. If you serve Krishna, you may or may not get perfection. But if you serve the devotee of Krishna, pure devotee, you will certainly get perfection. And also Bhakti Devi should also be respected. We should think I am subordinate to Bhakti. Don't equate other processes like Jnana and Karma and Yoga, Tapasya with Bhakti. Bhakti has the unique and supreme position. She is the supreme queen, empress. So Bhakti, Bhakta and Bhagwan. Understand? We have to be subordinate to these three. Bhakti, Bhakta and Bhagwan. Therefore, we should not criticize Bhakti, disrespect Bhakti or Bhakta and Bhagwan. Otherwise, we will commit a big offense. We should never disobey them. We should never disobey pure devotees also. One can ensure success by carefully surrendering to them with complete understanding of their spiritual nature and thus engage in affectionate service to them with proper respect and honor. So surrender is required. Surrender means anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya vivarjanam rakshashyati vishwaso goptrutva varanam tha atma nikshepa karpanye shadvidha sharanagati. Understand? Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya vivarjanam rakshashyati vishwaso goptrutva varanam tha. That certainly anukulyasya sankalpa. Do all the activities which are favorable and avoid all that is unfavorable. And have faith that Bhakti will protect me. Vaishnavas will protect me. Bhagwan will protect me. Have faith. So this is the sole method to remove aparadha. If you surrender to Bhakti, Bhakta and Bhagwan, then offenses will go away. Only then it is possible to engage in bhajan that is free from offense. Like in India now, there is one political leader, Rahul Gandhi. He is taking one padayatra. Padayatra means for his political reason. And he is taking from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, their work. And there are some members, they went to Mantralayam. Mantralayam is where Guru Raghavendra Swami, who was incarnation of Prahlad Maharaj, performed bhajan. So members of this, his team of Rahul Gandhi, when they visited Mantralayam, they said that we are feeling great peace here in Mantralayam. Why they are feeling great peace? Because it is the sadhan bhumi, tapasya bhumi of Sri Raghavendra Swami, who is actually doing bhajan even today. Actually, one British officer wanted to put the tax on some land of the Mata property. And Raghavendra Swami had taken Jaiva Samadhi. He had taken living Samadhi. But he again appeared from his Vrindavan Samadhi. That Samadhi is called Vrindavanam. He appeared from his Vrindavanam and gave darshan to that British officer. I think his name was Thomas Mantra or something. And told him, don't put a tax, because this is for Bhagwan's Seva. So all the sannyasis were very worried that Gurudev didn't give us darshan, why Thomas Mandro was selected to be Gurudev gave him darshan to this British officer. Then Raghavendra Swami said, don't worry, actually he was my classmate in Prahlad or Chandamarka school. Hiranyakashipu had put me in a school in my past incarnation when I was Prahlad. He was one of the demon classmate I had. And he has appeared as a governor of South India, British governor. So I had promised him that I will give you darshan in Kali Yuga also and an opportunity to render some service. So I gave him an opportunity to render service. I told him to write to the Queen and cancel the tax on the mutt and give exemption to the mutt from the taxes. And he did. Thomas Munro did that. It's recorded. Thomas Munro, he has recorded that. He told that, yes, I saw Raghavendra Swamiji. See, Raghavendra Swami had taken Samadhi maybe 300 years ago. That time, Britishers were not in India and no one knew the English. But how Raghavendra Swami came from Samadhi when English was not even spoken, and he spoke in English to the British officer and convinced him in English language not to put a tax on the Mata property. That's very surprising. Means coming out of the Samadhi 300 years later, then talking to Thomas Mandro and telling him not to put a tax on Mata property. Understand? So no wonder all these people, they all felt peace actually. Rahul Gandhi's political parties, all the people are walking in Padayatra. When they went to Mantralayam, they felt peace. So you'll see that this is really explained actually. So Major General Thomas Mandro, he was actually the governor of Madras. So Major General Thomas Mandro was born in Glasgow in 1761, brought up in the Stockwell and educated in the city. So actually he was, so it's a big position he had actually. Major General Thomas, governor of Madras. Madras means actually now Chennai. So actually, well recorded incidents is there. So Guru is great, understand. Guru principle is great. Shukra Dandi Maharaj also told this story many times. So see that we should be very, very careful. Vaishnavas are eternal. So actually, in his life history, it is written actually, a short-term village with a population of 12 on the bank of Tungabhadra. In the extreme north of Taluk, the village is widely known as containing the tomb of Madhva Saint Sri Radha. It's not a tomb, but actually Samadhi. Tomb is English word. Now the population of that village is only 1,212. It's on the bank of Tungabhadra river. Tungabhadra, Ganga Pani, Ganga Snane, Tunga Pani. Ganga is very good for bathing, and Tungabhadra is a very sweet river for drinking. So the annual festival in August, with which is attended by a large number of pilgrims, including even the Lingayats from Bombay, Nizam's dominions, and even Mysore, the tomb itself is not of interest. The grant of the landed endowment attached to it is said in one of the. So actually, this is a document out there. There's a document out there. How Raghavendra Swami gave darshan to him. So what I'm saying is, we have to be very careful with the Vaishnavas. They're always doing their bhajan inside even their samadhi. Understand? So now we are coming to paragraph 1b. By chanting the holy name, reciting prayers, and constantly performing service, seva aparadhas are eradicated. Understand? Seva aparadha is an offense in service to Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the deity. If you commit any service, then the seva aparadhas, how to get rid of seva aparadha? Now, many types of seva aparadhas are described in the scripture, and 32 types of seva aparadha are described actually. Srila Bhakti-Vinod Thakur in his book Harinam Chintamani, very good book actually, has explained seva aparadha. There are varieties of seva aparadha. 32 kinds of seva aparadhas are there. Like entering the temple with shoes on. Like generally, Hindus don't have to tell, they know. But some people of other faith also may not know that you have to remove the shoes. Alighting from a vehicle before the deity. Not observing the festival days like Janmashtami and all. It's an offense, seva aparadha. Forgetting to offer obeisances and prayers to the deity. When we go before the deity, we must offer obeisances and prayers. If we don't do that, it is a seva aparadha. You are offering worship to the deity in an unclean or contaminated state. Means without taking bath, you are offering prayers, and that is our seva aparadha. Offering obeisances on one hand. Like many people in India, like this is the correct way to offer obeisances. But many people know like this, they like this. Like this. Or they touch the feet of the elders with one hand. Understand? It's an offense. So circumambulating, extending the feet towards the deity. When you are sitting, you are extending your feet to the deity. Understand? You should not sit like that. So these are all seva aparadhas. You should be very careful of seva aparadha. Should not try to commit them. But suppose unknowingly or due to ignorance, if someone has committed seva aparadha, then one should pray to the Lord. We should chant the holy name. Recite the prayers. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmanitaya Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namo. And constantly perform service and seva aparadha will go away. Seva aparadhanam tu namavistan tattan nivartaka stotra pathai seva satatyena cha bhavasya vivekina praya pratidinam evopashamananukuri bhavanupa seva aparadhas. If committed by persons who are prudent and righteous, are for the most part nullified on a day-to-day basis by taking shelter of chanting the holy name. Reciting the various prayers that eradicate these offenses and constantly engaging in the service of the Lord. As a result, seva aparats cannot even sprout. Understand? So actually, seva aparats, there are numerous seva aparats. And we are living in a material body, so sometimes seva aparats happen actually. Now there's one seva aparat, say breaking wind before the deed. But suppose someone has taken some pakoras, then obviously break wind. Understand? So what to do? Then ask forgiveness from the Lord. Oh Lord, I ate too much. So, I could not control. And then, I broke wind before you. Please forgive me. Understand? So all these things are described in the scriptures. And pray to the Lord. Thereafter, the author is explaining how the obstacles arising from offenses, aparadutta anarthas, refer only to offenses to the holy name, namaprad, and not to offenses performed in the service of Bhagavan, seva aparad. Actually, seva aparad and namaprad, both are there. So here, actually, in Bhakti Samrata Sindhu Bindu, very good book actually, it is told that to blaspheme Shri Gurudev, Shri Bhagavan, or the devotee is an offense. Similarly, here blasphemy of them is also a great offense. Many times we think that my Gurudev, I am not criticizing him, but someone is criticizing and he simply sit there like a doll, then that is also an offense. Understand? So if your Gurudev is being blasphemed, either you try to cut that argument of that person or simply leave that place. At least that much you can do in protest. No, I will not sit there where my Gurudev is being criticized. Understand? I will not sit in that place. I will close my ears and with all my clothes on, I will jump in the Ganges or go in shower. I will not hear the... so he's told, if one is capable, he should give suitable punishment to such offenders. Means one should try to cut their arguments. If one is unable, he should cover his ears. Cover one's ears. Leave that place and take bath with his clothes on. Understand? By hearing blasphemy, the active principle, vritti of bhakti, becomes withered. Those who blaspheme Krishna or the Vaishnava, the offenders, who are averse to Sri Krishna. Ishman Bhagavatam, it is said, Nindam Bhagavata Shunman Stat Parasya Janasya Va Tato Nai Pitiya Sopi Yatyadha Sukritash. Those who hear blasphemy of Bhagavan or his devotees and do not leave that place are deprived of their auspicious activities and fall down to a degraded position. So we hear the blasphemy of Bhagavan or his devotees and do not leave that place. Then all your pious activities are gone. They are deducted from your account. And you fall down to a degraded position. Be very, very careful about this. Shri Gurudev is here included within the classification of the devotees. Therefore, one should never tolerate blasphemy of Shri Gurudev or Shri Krishna or the devotees. See, Gurudev is the greatest of the devotees. But Gurudev is not separate from devotees. Understand? When we say Vaishnavas, actually Gurudev is included in that. Understand? Because Gurudev is classified as a devotee only. Because an Avaishnava, a non-Vaishnava, cannot be Guru. Understand? My Guru is also Vaishnava. Understand? My Guru must be a Vaishnava. Without being a Vaishnava, he cannot be Guru. But he is the pure Vaishnava. Understand? So when we say that don't hear the criticism of any Vaishnava, means also Gurudev is included in that. Vaishnava word is a superset and Gurudev is a subset of that. So therefore one should never tolerate blasphemy of Shri Guru, Shri Krishna and the devotees. Even Krishna's blasphemy we should not tolerate. We should try to cut their arguments. Like a lot of time many people in India, they criticize Krishna. Understand? We should leave that place. Many times I think, mercy of Krishna. We cannot repay him. Can we repay him for the air? The air that Krishna has given us, we are breathing that. The water, imagine you are thirsty and no water is there. What will you do? Understand? The eyes which He has given us, so precious. Close your eyes and try to walk around your house for 5 minutes and stumble here and there. What more He can give to us? He has given us such a fabulous human body, highest birth, all the facilities, loving and affectionate mother, father, books to read, understand, enough food to eat and clothes. What more can Krishna give us? So very merciful. The Supreme Lord is very, very merciful. Causelessly merciful. And Gurudev is even more merciful than Krishna, because even Krishna did not help me when he was on the planet, but Gurudev personally came and guided me on bhakti. And devotees are all representatives of Gurudev, limbs of Gurudev only, so we should respect them also. The 44 limbs of bhakti which follow after these are included within the 20 limbs already mentioned. Understand? So here only Namaparat is included. Wise saintly persons by regularly chanting the holy name of Sri Hari, singing his eulogies, reciting various prayers, and constantly engaging in service to him, ensure the daily removal of offences committed to him in service. So it has to be done on day-to-day basis, because we perform service to Radha Krishna daily, especially deity, those who are pujaris and others, or those who are living in the temple situation where the deities are there, and obviously that we commit offense. Many times I remember that I must have committed some offense. Understand? It is impossible that you not to commit Seva Aparadha, I think, because so many situations we commit, because the rules are so many actually. So we have to pray every day to Krishna. Please forgive me. I have committed a Seva Aparadha to you. But if a person repeatedly commits Seva Aparadhas on the strength of his chanting of the holy name or on the strength of his recitation of eulogies, then those Seva Aparadhas will transform into Nama Aparadhas. Unknowingly you committed Seva Aparadhas, offense in his service, then Krishna will forgive that if you offer prayers. But if you think that I will commit offense first and then also I will nullify it in the night time by doing some prayer to Krishna, then it will be actually, it will become a stubborn offense, and then Seva Aparadha will become Nama Aparadha. Therefore, it is necessary for the sadhaka to be thoroughly acquainted with the various Seva Aparadhas. In the Padma Puran, 32 Seva Aparadhas have been described. To enter a temple wearing shoes or slippers. Understand? To enter a temple carried on a palanquin or a carrier. To not observe the festivals of one's worshipful deity. To fail to offer obeisances to one's worshipful deity when present before him. To offer prayers to Bhagavan while one still has food in one's mouth or on one's hands. So you cannot jhute mouth se prarthana nahi karna chahiye. Means you cannot offer prayers when your hand is dirty. Understand? Mouth is dirty. Wash your mouth, wash your hands, take achman and do prayers. To offer prayers to Bhagavan in an impure state. That is also Seva Aparadha. To offer obeisances to... No, we cannot pray to Bhagavan in an impure state. But Nama Sankirtan can be done. Understand? Means an impure condition, you may not be able to recite prayers to Bhagavan. But Nama Sankirtan, yes, you can do it anytime, even in toilet. To offer obeisances to the Bhagavan with only one hand. To show one's back to the deities while circumambulating them. So generally speaking, don't show your back when you are circumambulating. To spread one's legs before the deity. To sit before the deity with one's hand binding or raised knees. To lay down or sleep before the deity. To eat in front of the deity. No. If you have a deity and you want to eat, even at home you close the curtain and then eat. Or go something away and then eat. To speak falsehoods before the deity. First, you should not speak false things. And if you are going to speak anyways, then don't do it before the deity at least. Understand? To shout or talk loudly before the deity. Many people, they shout or talk loudly. That is not correct. To gossip before the deity. Criticizing, this person, that person. To cry before the deity. Many people, they cry in front of deity. Oh, I am suffering, please help me. So don't, deities have very compassionate heart. Don't cry before them. You want to cry, go somewhere else. To show favor or to chastise others in front of the deity. Don't give charity before the deity to others. Take this, I am giving you, I am so merciful. Who are you to give? Everything belongs to deity anyways. And don't chastise. You are not the ruler or controller to chastise others before the deity. You want to chastise, go some other place, but don't in front of the deity. To speak harsh or cruel language before the deity. Generally, we should not speak harsh or cruel language, but in front of deity, it becomes sevaprada. So never do that before deity. To cover oneself with a blanket while standing before the deity. Don't cover yourself with a blanket. Or while engaged in the service to him. To blaspheme others before the deity. That is also sevaprada. To glorify others before the deity. Before the deity, you should only glorify the deity. No one else. To use vulgar language before the deity. Understand? That is not permitted. To pass wind before the deity. To offer the deity items of inferior quality, even if one has the ability to offer higher quality paraphernalia. But simply offering water and second-rate items at the time of worship. Even the one is capable of offering the primary paraphernalia used in service like flowers, tulsi, incense, ghee lamp, and foodstuffs. So this also happens. To eat the foodstuffs not offered to the deity. To not offer seasonal fruit and flowers as soon as they are available. To offer the first portion of something to someone and then give the remaining part to the deity. So, for example, you have cooked some prasadam and then there is a Vaishnava, he has a train to catch. And Arati is not done yet. Like in Mathal situation also. This happens sometimes. Some Vaishnava has to go to the railway station and Bhoga is not done because Bhoga is cooked but is not offered yet. And that Vaishnava has to take prasadam with him. So what to do? Prasadam. So what is permitted is that you take the first portion of what is cooked, set it aside for the deity. You set it aside for the deity. That it will be offered later. And then give him the prasad. No problem. Because the first portion was taken for the deities of whatever was cooked, it is considered already offered. Understand? So, generally speaking, best is that you make an offering and then give prasad to everyone. But sometimes not possible. Then whatever is cooked, you take it in the deity's plate, put it in the deity's plate. Understand? And then give the prasadam to that devotee who's going on the train station or something urgently. But the first portion should be kept aside for the deity. To sit, but suppose I fill the tiffin of that devotee first, and then that devotee has taken away the tiffin, and then I take the whatever is cooked and offer to take for the deity later, then it is not offerable anymore. I should set aside for the deity first, and then fill the tiffin of that devotee. No harm. So, anyways, that is what I heard from Srila Bhakti-Vidanta Maharaj book, articles. I'll give the praman from his book also. So, to eat foodstuffs not offered to the deity, to not offer seasonable fruit and flowers as soon as they are available, to offer the first portion of something to someone and then give the remaining part to the deity, to sit with one's back to the deity. No, we should not sit like that. To offer obeisances to others before the deity. So generally speaking, except Diksha Guru, you should not offer obeisances to anyone in front of the deity. Not even to Shiksha Guru, generally speaking. Maybe if Shiksha Guru is very elevated, you can offer. But generally speaking, I heard that you should offer obeisances only to the deity and Diksha Guru you can offer. But other Vaishnavas, you should not offer them obeisances and that curtain is open. So what generally we do is we close the curtain and then offer obeisances to the Vaishnavas. Or we go to the side where the deities cannot see and then offer obeisances to each other or to Vishnu. To remain silent before the spiritual master, meaning to not offer him praise or obeisance and not answer his question. This is also sevapara. Like when we go to before the spiritual master, we should offer him praise. If nothing is there, then Gyanti Paradasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshurmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. When simply mutely offering pranam is also not permitted. You must offer him praise. So what is the praise? Then, you can offer this Ajnana-Timirandasya Priya Namam Vishnu Pada Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Radhikai Priyatmani Shishyan Bhakti-Vidanta Narayani Tidamini. This is the praise of him. Understand? So some pranam mantra should be chanted while offering the pranam. At least softly on mind also. And if Gurudev asks some questions, we should try to answer them. Not sit there like a spectator or like dumb person. Gurudev asking some question, try to answer to your ability. And if you don't know, you say, don't know, but I will find out. To praise oneself before the deity, we should not do that. I am so great, I am like this, I am like that. I did so much help to so many Vaishnavas, this and that. No, not in front of the deity. Or to blaspheme the demigods. You go in front of the deity and say, Ganesh is like this, and Shiva is like that, and Indra is like this, and Chandra is like that, and Shani, the Saturn planet is like this. No, don't do that. The demigods also authorized servants of Krishna. And they are Adhikrita Das. Understand? So it will be not tolerated by Krishna. If you offend the demigods. Understand? They are actually dasas of Krishna. So Akela Ishvara Krishna Arasava Bhutya. Char jaise taise kare Bhutya. So this is very, very important. So Varaha Purana also mentions some offenses to be avoided. They are briefly enumerated as follows. To eat food grains offered by a king or by a grossly materialistic person. So if king sent you some sweet meats, don't eat them. Because you will become passionate. Or in a very gross materialistic person has given you some food, don't eat that. That will make you very materialistic. What you eat, you are like what you eat. Worship or touch the Lord in a dark room. Turn on the light, at least. Light up a ghee or oil lamp and then touch the deity. Don't touch in dark. To go to the Lord without following the proper procedure means when you go to the temple of the Lord, you clap, say the prayer, and then you go. To open the door of the temple without ringing a bell, always you should ring the bell. Understand? To collect ingredients of service that have been seen or touched by a dog. Now this is the problem actually. A lot of people, they keep dogs at home. Understand? So maybe some security problems also. They may be keeping dog, But sometimes they keep a dog. Generally speaking, the dog should not be kept inside the house. Understand? In India, generally it has become a habit now. Everyone is keeping a dog actually. But any food stuff that is seen by a dog or touched by a dog cannot be offered to the Lord. So dog has a position. They have the guardians, so they can be kept outside the gate. Every day you make many chapatis and put at the gate, and so many dogs will come and eat them. And they will not go anywhere else. They'll sit there all day long. Maybe 20, 30 dogs will be right in front of your gate. Which thief will think of entering your house? Understand? Make a lot of chapatis and keep them outside the gate. Let the dogs eat. And the dogs will always be sitting there expecting chapatis, and no thief will come. But dogs should not be, generally speaking, kept inside the house or kept outside. Outside the house, you can build a small shelter for the dog, but not inside where the temple is there. To collect ingredients of service that have been seen or touched by a dog, to break silence while worshipping the Lord. So don't talk to anyone while worshipping the Lord, doing archa. To leave the worship, generally you're not supposed to eat talk and eat also prasada. Because when you talk, the air goes in your stomach and this air gets trapped in your stomach. So basically, you should be silent and mute while honoring prasada. Chant only holy name in the mind, or even loudly, no harm, but don't talk. So now, to leave the worship of the deity to pass stool or urine, that is also an offense. So now the pujari's life is very difficult because you cannot drink too much water. Understand? Even I heard about Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj was an expert deity worshipper. Even if he had to pass urine, then he will go take complete bath and then come again, even in the cold season. He was actually worshipping at Yoga Pita deities. Understand? He was so strict. Pujari has to be very strict. To offer incense first without offering scented unguents such as sandalwood pulp or flower garlands. See, sometimes many people in India, they just take one agarbatti and just offer to the Lord. This offense. First, you must offer some sandalwood to the Lord, and then offer the incense stick or flower garlands. You should be offered. Then you can offer incense stick. To worship the Lord with forbidden flowers such as red hibiscus or dhatura flowers. Now, dhatura is very dear to Lord Shiva, and hibiscus, red. They're called bell like hibiscus flowers, red flowers. They are not offerable to, maybe offerable to Ganesh, but not to Lord Krishna. Dhatura may be offered to Lord Shiva, I think. Dhatura flowers or fruit, I think, but not to Krishna. To worship the Lord without having cleaned one's teeth, one should always clean the teeth, either with a twig, neem twig, or with proper rubber tooth powder, or alum and rock salt and turmeric, something like that. To worship the Lord without having cleaned one's teeth, to worship the Lord without bathing after sexual intercourse. Obviously, though this is for householder devotees, they must take a bath. If they have engaged in an act of procreation, they should take a bath before worshipping the deity. To render service to the Lord after touching a woman on her menstrual cycle, an oil lamp or a dead body. Understand? So, woman in her menstrual cycle, Bhagavatam says she has contracted the sin of killing a Brahmana, Brahmatya. Because Indra, he had got the sin of Brahmatya. He divided among the main trees, earth and water. So therefore, 25% of the reaction came to women, unfortunately, and they are impure during menstrual cycle. So if one touches them, one should take bath before worshipping the Lord again. An oil lamp or a dead body. To render service to the Lord while wearing red, blue or unwashed cloth too. So generally speaking, many people wear red, blood red. Now this type of cloth is not, blue cloth is not permitted while worshipping the deity. Unwashed cloth also not permitted. To wear cloth belonging to someone else or to wear dirty cloth. No, you should not do that. Suppose you wear very dirty clothes, then you will not be allowed to go and meet any political leader also, not to speak of Bhagavan. To touch the deity and offer worship after seeing a dead body, after passing wind, after showing anger, after visiting a crematorium, while suffering from indigestion, or after taking an oil massage. So this condition you cannot worship the deity. Additional sevaparas are described in other scriptures. To disregard scriptures about Bhagavan and introduce other literatures. To chew betel nut while standing before the Lord. Many people eat betel nut in India. To worship the Lord with flowers kept on or in forbidden leaves such as those from castor oil plant. Castor oil plant leaves are very big. So some people they collect that leaves and put some flowers on that and offer to the Lord. Then they are not offerable anymore. To perform worship at an inauspicious time that is opportune for demons. You cannot worship the deity, like to 2 o'clock in the night. That is a demonic time. Understand? To perform worship while seated on a wooden stool or while sitting on a floor and not on appropriate seat or asana. Generally, Kusha grass asana is very good for doing Annik. You must do Achman, and Kusha grass has some special power. That is the good asana. To touch the deity with left hand while bathing him. Don't touch the deity with left hand. To worship the Lord with flowers that have wilted or been procured by begging. To spit at the time of worship. To boast, I am a first-class pujari priest. To wear tilak pundra, tilak, horizontal tilak, worn by followers of Lord Shiva at the time of worship. Like, don't put tilak tilak, like 3 lines, horizontal lines. And then you cannot worship the deity if you have put that tilak. To enter the temple without washing one's feet. To offer grains to Sri Hari that have been cooked by non-devotees. To worship the Lord in front of a non-devotee. Generally, that's why we put a curtain, so non-devotees cannot see the worship. To worship the Lord without first worshipping Nrsingadev, the destroyer of obstacles. It's also an offense. First, one must worship Nrsingadev to remove obstacles in worship. To worship the Lord having just seen a Kapalik mendicant. Kapalik actually extreme Shakta. The Kapalik mendicants are tantric materialists who carry skulls in their hands. They are not Vaishnavas and they follow a lifestyle that is opposed to Shastra. Kapalik means basically they actually perform this Narabali, human sacrifice also. Extreme Kapalik. Understand? Kapalik. So if you see such a Kapalik carrying skulls and all red garments, then that is not permitted. Kapaliks. To bathe the deity with waters that has been touched by fingernails. So your fingernails, if touch the water, you cannot operate with that. So you have to keep your fingernails short and don't put your fingers in the water of the Lord. To worship the Lord while one's body is perspiring. To step over and mistreat the Lord's remnant, prasadi items such as foodstuffs and flower garlands. The Lord's flower garlands and prasad, we should not step on them or touch them. We should always offer them in favor. That no one will step on them. To take an oath before in the name of the Lord. Oh, I take an oath. People many times say, I take the oath of Bhagavan. I am not lying. Not correct. Don't take the oath in the name of Bhagavan or his holy name. At the time of serving God, intelligent devotees are for the most part very careful not to commit seva pride. They are not to be at all lax about this. However, if any offense is committed inadvertently, the devotee's daily performance of alms and gives the recitation of various prayers and rendering continuous service nullifies that offense. And there is no possibility of it starting again. Okay, so now we have completed the section 1B. Now next class will be on section 1C, page number 193, 1C. Performing sin on the strength of the holy name is Namaprad. So Nam Nohi Balade Se Papa Buddhi. 1C, page number 193, 1C. Thank you very much for joining and please bearing with our loud sound of these crackers. It's only once in a year actually, an unavoidable circumstance. In my childhood also, I was also so much fond of firecrackers, But now, so big festival in India is the most important festival in India. So much sound will be there. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarvescha kripa sindhanam pavaniko Vaishnavyo namaha. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you so much. This is so important. I actually want to go back and read it again myself so we can absorb what you actually said and try and follow because there's a lot detail that's been said there. Oh, thank you so much. Any questions, dear?
Dandava Pranams, Maharaj. I have a question to ask. One of the offenses we covered was about one should not worship the deities during the time of the Rakshas. What is the last time that one should worship the deities? What is the last time of the day? Should one worship
Last
the day?
time, huh? Last time is actually before 9 o'clock. Because I have seen in Gaudiya Math, generally speaking, I'll ask for Dandi Maharaj also because he was Pujari in New Vrindavan. I have never been a Pujari actually. But Maharaj was a Pujari for a very long time in New Vrindavan temple, New Vrindavan in America. So Maharaj, very expert Pujari. But generally speaking, 9 o'clock, most of the temples close. And then they open again at Brahma Muhurta time, 4 o'clock. So 9 to 4 is not considered auspicious time. 9 to 4. And not only that, we are not supposed to bathe also during the inauspicious time. Inauspicious time, we should not bathe. So sometimes, for example, Nanda Maharaj was taken by the associates of Varun Dev to the lower planetary system because he bathed in the midnight. Understand? But that time he had a reason because the Paran time was very short and he had to take bath before Paran. So he entered Jamuna and that is considered inauspicious time, demonic time. And the associates of Varuna, they came and they took away Nanda Maharaj. So Bhagavatam also describes this. So we have to, but I'll ask Maharaj, but generally I would say safely that before 9 o'clock you should complete your worship. I would say 8:30. 8:30 is fine. But at the most 9. After 9, I think you should have nothing to do with deity worship. You should definitely positively put the deities to sleep before 9 o'clock. And Shayan Arti should be done maybe. Ranganath Gaudiya I have seen quarter to 9 also. There is on 8:30, if I'm not wrong, there's Shayan Arti. Then, the deities take rest. And then morning, I think 4:30 is Mangal Arti. Some temples 4:30, 4 o'clock. In Vrindavan, Seva Kunj, where Radha Krishna's so many sweet pastimes take place there, that is the earliest Mangal Arti. Maybe 4 o'clock or some 3:30 or 4 o'clock. Because I know some devotees in Vrindavan, they go for Mangal Arti of Radha, of Seva Kunj first. They go 3 Mangal Artis. The Seva Kunj will open 3:30 or quarter to 4. Then they go to Seva Kunj, they attend that Arti. Then they go to Radha Damodar. Then they come to Rup Sanatan. And like the three Mangal Artis they attend. Many devotees told me like that. I am too lazy to attend even one Mangal Arti. What to speak of 3 Mangal Artis? But you know. So, anyways, 9 to 4, I will say safely, roughly, that this is the time when deities are engaged in sweet pastimes and we should not, and that time is considered demoniac. Like, for example, tomorrow eclipse time also. So eclipse time also, the curtains are closed. Curtains are closed because we don't want. Krishna is a small child for us, and we don't want the dangerous rays of the contaminated rays of the sun to fall on his body and hurt him. Understand? That sentiment is there. The mood of protection is there, like Yashoda. Understand? If Yashoda would be thinking that he's Parabrahma Parmeshwar, then she would not at all take any care of him. But she never thinks he's Parabrahma Parmeshwar. She thinks that he is my small child. I must take care of his health. Otherwise, he will have indigestion. He will have so many stomach ache, this problem, that problem. So she will forbid him. Don't eat dirt, otherwise it will hurt you. Don't do this, don't do that. Understand? So we should always have this mood that in our demonic time, demons are out. Ghost and other, other living entities are out. So we don't want them to affect a divine couple. We know that they cannot affect. Divine couple is all powerful. They're the supreme personalities of Godhead. But still, devotee has that mood that, oh, no harm should come on Krishna. Understand? So maybe that mood is there also. But I'll check with Sripad Dandi Maharaj about exact time when not to perform deity worship. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Any other question?
Thank you so much. Dandavat comes. Thank you. I don't think there's any more questions.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Mohan Jai Diwani, please. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Dandavat.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Radha Vinod Bihari Ji Ki Jai. Om Vishnu Par Stotra Shata Shishya Mata Bhakti-Vidanta Vishnu Deity Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Vishnu Par Stotra Shata Shishya Mata Bhakti-Vidanta Dandi Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitya Leela Pravishta Vishnu Par Stotra Shata Shishya Mata Bhakti-Vidanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitya Leela Pravishta Vishnu Par Stotra Shata Shishya Mata Bhakti-Vidanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitya Leela Pravishta Vishnu Par Stotra Shata Shishya Mata Bhakti-Vidanta Swami Maharaj Ki Jai. नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट विष्णु पार स्तोत्र शत शिष्य मठ भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट विष्णु पार स्तोत्र शत शिष्य भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय. नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट परम भगवत प्रभार शिष्य गौर किशोर दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय. नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट शिष्य सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय. नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सर्वभौम शिष्य जगन्नाथ दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय. श्री गौड़ीय वेदांत आचार्य शिष्य बलदेव विद्याभूषण प्रभु की जय. श्री विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर की जय. श्री नरोत्तम श्रीनिवास श्यामल प्रभु त्राय की जय. श्री कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय. श्री रूप सनातन बात रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल दास रघुनाथ सद गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय. श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंद श्री गौर प्रसाद वृंद की जय. नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव सत्य गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. अंतरद्वीप मायापुर सीमंत द्वीप गोद्रुम द्वीप मध्य द्वीप कोला द्वीप ऋतु द्वीप जानु द्वीप मोद्रद्रुम द्वीप रुदति पद्म काशी नवद्वीप धाम की जय. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपा गोपी गो गोवर्धन द्वादश वनत्मकार श्री व्रज मंदिर की जय. श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गंगा यमुना तुलसी भक्ति देव की जय. श्रीमती वृंद देवी की जय. श्री पौर्णमासी योग माया की जय. श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय. श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्र सुदर्शन चक्र जीव की जय. श्री क्षेत्र मंदिर की जय. सर्व विघ्न विनाशकारी श्री नरसिंह देव की जय. भक्त प्रभार श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय. चार धाम की जय. चार संप्रदाय की जय. चार आचार्य की जय. अकर मतरा श्री चैतन्य मात की जय. श्री केशव गौड़िया मत सकमत समूहा की जय. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद भागवतम की जय. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. सामगात भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री निताय गौर प्रेमनंद हरि हरि बोल.
हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna. Sripad Bhakti-Vidanta Vishnu Deity Maharaj ki jai.
Shakha Didi ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, dear devotees, for joining today. So we'll see you all tomorrow, which is Tuesday, for Java Dharma class. But before Java Dharma, we will see you all at 12:30 with Sripad Bhakti-Vidanta Dandi Maharaj to continue our parikrama. And thereafter, we will see Sripad Bhakti-Vidanta Vishnu Deity Maharaj. And devotees, please bear in mind that Gurudev said he will be like in and out the class because they're having Govardhan Puja tomorrow at the Mat. So he said he'll be attending, but he'll be in and out. So please do bear with us with time. We will see when Gurudev will attend, and we will continue the program. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Jai Ho. Jai. Tomorrow will be Govardhan Puja. Right?
That's what Gurudev said. Ji Maharaj. Gurudev said at the Mat he's having Govardhan Puja tomorrow.
Yeah, Govardhan Puja is generally you have to worship when Gurudev's time. I remember that we used to go to the Giraj Govardhan, and then Gurudev used to encourage everyone to bathe the Giraj with milk and other paraphernalia. I remember one time I was with Gurudev and I was sitting in front of Gurudev. Gurudev was speaking some, and then because there was a long queue just to bathe the Giraj, hundreds and thousands of Indian and Western devotees were there. So I'm a little lazy. So I thought, let the queue go away and then I will go and last and bathe the Giraj. I just simply sitting in front of Srila Gurudev, and Gurudev asked me, "Hey, did you go and bathe the Giraj?" Then I said, "Okay, Gurudev, I'll go." So Gurudev always gives so much importance to bathing Giraj because this is a very, very important activity. But scriptures say that if you cannot have access to Giraj or Giraj Shila, then you make one Giraj from the cow dung actually. Scripture says that you make a replica of Giraj from a cow dung, and then with that you can worship that actually. And many different types of food stuff should be cooked for the pleasure of the Giraj. The scriptures say that if you offer even one grain of rice to Giraj that day, then even Lakshmi may have to bake, but you may never have to bake. Means there will be always prosperity and enough food stuff to eat in your house. So Srila Gurudev in Bajar, which Gurudev used to call it New Braj, there also I have seen wonderful Giraj Puja. In Govardhan, when Giraj Puja was being done, hundreds and thousands of devotees used to carry so many plates of prasadam. And Gurudev used to say that everyone should make different types of items for Gurudev Giraj pleasure. And devotees used to carry them on the head, and even Western devotees dressed in Indian attire looked very attractive and taking so many prasadam to Giraj, and Gurudev personally used to offer that. Bhakti-Vidanta Maharaj used to do the Pujari Seva that time for Giraj. He was always ahead in bathing and worshipping. Under the guidance of Srila Gurudev used to worship Giraj. So Gurudev always said that Giraj Govardhan worship is very, very important. Because he told that Pramada Madana Lila Kandare Kandareti Racheti Navayunor Dondam Asmina Mandam Itikala Kalanartham Lagana Kastatu Yormi Nijanikata Divasam Dehi Govardhanatvam. Gurudev told that Giraj is witness to Radha Krishna's confidential pastimes, and he can also help us see those pastimes. He must have this mood of a maid servant. He must be actually the maid servant of Radharani. So Gurudev told that, who can see Radha Krishna's confidential pastimes unless they're in female body. So Gurudev has given a nice explanation about this Swarupa of Giraj. You can see the lecture on purebhakti.com. So, so very auspicious day of Giraj Puja tomorrow. Also, Go Puja is also done. I have seen personally Gurudev worshipping the cow and calf. They used to bring a cow and calf to Gurudev, and Gurudev used to feed the fresh grass. And in Bajar also I have seen, and I have seen in Govardhan also every year Srila Gurudev used to do Go Puja. So tomorrow is, day after tomorrow is Go Puja. So actually tomorrow is Surya Grahan. But Go Puja and Govardhan Puja is on 26th of October, Annakut Mahotsav. Understand? And then that is also the appearance day of Sri Rasikananda Prabhu. And it is also the appearance day of Srila Bhakti Goswami Shramana Goswami Maharaj. Understand? So this is a very, and then 27th October is Yamadvitiya, Bhratradvitiya. That is, that day the brothers and sisters, they bathe in Yamuna together. Because Yamuna is a sister of Yamaraj, and those who take shelter of Yamuna, Yamaraj doesn't harm them. So that day we worship Yamuna so that Yamaraj will forgive our offenses. And we will have no fear of Yamaraj. And then 28th October is the disappearance day of two great acharyas, Srila Bhakti-Vidanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj and Srila Bhakti-Vedanta Trivikram Goswami Maharaj, Nityala Parishtam Vishnupad, Ashtottar Shishwar Bhakti-Vedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj, Shishwar Bhakti-Vedanta Trivikram Goswami Maharaj. Then there is 29th October is the disappearance day of Srila Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Maharaj. So many festivals are coming. This actually, 30th is the appearance of Srila Shishimad Bhakti Shrup Siddhanti Goswami Maharaj. Then 1st October is Gopashtami and Gosthashtami. So serially, you see that incessant current of festivals actually. That's why this month is so important. And all the great acharyas, they disappeared in this month. You see that disappearance day of Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Trivikram Goswami Maharaj. First day was the disappearance of Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. Then Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. So all these great acharyas either appeared or disappeared in this month. Understand? And they entered into the this Shardiya Ras of Sri Krishna, into the Rasa Lila of Krishna. Understand? So Utthana Ekadashi is the appearance day of Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhava Goswami Maharaj. And also disappearance day of Srila Gaurkashada Babaji Maharaj. Amazing month, amazing month. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat from Adi Krishna dear devotees, Dandavat. Panchakapa Chirupasya Kripa Hare Krishna, Dandavat. Thank you, Maharaj.